and welcome back to AM Break with Ann and Audra. Still here at the beautiful Edison restaurant. Lovely morning. So glad to see you today.
This is Bianca. Well, actually,
let's
introduce yourself and who you are.
Hey everyone, I am Bianca Belabre. I am the Director of Digital Communications at Hatch and Fly. I've been practicing social media communications for about almost going on 3 years now. So yeah,
she practices what she preaches. Like I love following you on Instagram and Insta stories and seeing all your updates and what's going on.
It's a lot of fun for sure. But we actually have Bianca here because you are a social media expert. Mm-hmm. So the question before us, children and social media, what would you suggest as best practices for mom and dad, including when do you let your kid on social media?
Okay. Well, for like
huge subject,
it's pretty. I mean, but it's the reality of the world that we live in now. Like people, like kids are just born into the social media world, right. So it's all they know. But for like token age, 13 is usually the age that you want to wait, because every platform pretty much has an age restriction of 13.
Oh, that is true when you start your account. Okay.
So yeah, 13 is like the token age for most platforms on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter.
My son is not going to like that. He's only turning 12.
It's like the restrictions say so.
The restrictions say so.
The restrictions say so.
I can't fight the law.
And there's kind of like, there's regulations on if you start one for a minor.
So I'm not getting in trouble.
Yeah.
That is fantastic news.
Good. Thanks for that. See, kids, we got
best news today.
I want mommy and daddy locked up.
Yeah, no, but kids, don't be mad at me.
Don't be mad at Bianca.
Don't be mad at me.
Bianca's ruining our lives.
Right. But yeah, so there's restrictions on these things. So that's the biggest thing, that make sure that they're a certain age and just make sure that they're mentally there as well. Right. The first thing you would want to do is make sure you have their password. Right. You need to make sure that you know every platform that they're on and have their password, and know who their friends are.
Sure.
That's big, because with Facebook especially and Instagram, you can have a public profile, and you can just add anybody in the world. I mean, Facebook is the biggest community, period. Not even social, but it's the biggest community in the world. So you can reach anybody in the world.
Right.
So you want to just make sure that they have their settings on private. You want to make sure that when they share pictures that it's within their friends and not just everybody in the world. You want to also make sure that they're not sharing pictures that are going to embarrass them, that are talking about other people. So these are discussions that, you definitely want to have that discussion.
Don't send pictures of your junk. I mean, I've got to have this conversation with my kid, right?
Yeah, it's important.
You laugh,
no, but and then you have to also think of social media is just like if an article came out about you, you know, it's going to be on the internet forever. So, I mean, you may be able to delete it, but somebody will be able to find it.
Snapchat it.
Right.
Screenshot it.
Right, screenshot it, or, you know, this is information that will be there forever. And at 13, you can do something
it's a lifetime decision.
You know, that's a lifetime decision. So you have to have these serious conversations, like, please don't put your boobs out on Facebook.
But you know what? But this even brings up, you said don't even post embarrassing pictures of yourself or your friends, because what's a joke to you? I mean, this lost in translation, this speak, this text,
huge
like
lost
what
in
I thought was fun, and we're all, and then someone's offended or hurt, and you don't know how they're hurt. And
but we experience that as adults.
Oh, I know. Oh,
right.
Girl,
like somebody would take a picture of us, and we're like, why would you put that?
Why would you tag
me? Because I look
That's
so good
why
at
I
it.
approve my tags.
Yeah. You have to approve your tags, and like, I just don't understand. Like, you see the angle. I know you look good, but I don't look good. So those are things that you want to definitely be aware of. Be aware of how often they're using it. There's different apps that I know were mentioned before, but there is some that I found called Net Nanny. Net Nanny,
Net Nanny.
Right.
On the iPad.
Net Nanny allows you to monitor activity in real time. So you can get updated on things that are going on the internet and things of that nature.
I know what you're doing.
Yes, I saw you.
Turn it off.
And you can, and then there's one called M-Spy. And so it's like mobile spy. Okay. But that seemed to be like a really popular one with parents because it's also real time, but you can monitor location, text messages, online activity.
So the one with the harsher name is probably the one I'm going to get
the
as
one with
opposed
spy in it.
Or maybe I'll get them all. I'll get all of them.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Is there a social media platform that you just would not let your kid on? Like they've got to be 18 and out of your house before
you see them.
I mean, are there any that are just right? Are there any that are just so scary?
My future kid, because I don't have a child, but I'm scared. I'm a little scared of Snapchat. I'm not gonna lie.
Sure. And that's the one
I'm
my
not
kid
gonna
wants.
lie. Yeah,
it's
because
the one that freaks me out the most.
I've encountered things on Snapchat that I wouldn't want a kid to encounter. Just because my profile is public, I'm a public figure out there. I have my information out there, and I've received snaps that were just like
inappropriate.
What? You've had snaps?
Well, no.
She knows.
I have. She knows.
has. I lived through her. Like, thank God. I was getting
Right.
SMS.
of my,
Just like,
oh my God.
what?
Like,
Who
these
is
are
this
grown
man?
ups. Like,
These-
what are you
like, and they'll
thinking?
just
no shame.
no
None.
shame.
None.
No
And there
shame.
should be
do
a
better.
whole bunch,
Do
but
better.
none.
It doesn't work. Like,
It
oh,
doesn't
thank
work.
you for that picture.
Right. Oh,
Thank
thanks.
you.
I'm
Wow,
so
so
flattered.
impressive.
I didn't want to see that ever.
Doesn't work.
Right.
Yeah, so just these inappropriate pictures that can come through your Snapchat.
Yeah,
Right.
you
That
don't need them
boggles
seeing it.
for your
You can't
child,
see it.
13, like
So that is the one that freaks you out.
that's
the
the
most.
one that freaks me out the most because I mean, even though M-Spy and all of these other things help you monitor it,
You can't
you
stop it.
can't
Go in
stop
there
what
and-
comes
yeah.
in.
You'll know about it after it's happened.
Right.
You can't
And
stop
so
it.
if somebody just sends something lewd,
Right.
they were already exposed. And so it's just like
horrible.
you would have to have that conversation like
Right.
there are crazy people in the world. But that's like
And
that's
I-
what I'm scared of.
I expect that will happen. I would like
Yeah.
to keep them as few as possible for sure.
Right.
Any other other recommendations in terms of social media and children?
Another recommendation. Well, the biggest one right now is Snapchat. That's the biggest platform for children. Make sure that they're not lying about their age because that's a big thing. A lot of 10 and 11-year-olds are on Snapchat, on Facebook, on Instagram, and they're lying about their age. It's not difficult for you to just put
Right.
1990, right? 19, you know,
Do the math, it's easy, yeah.
right. And so you just want to make sure that you're actually monitoring and seeing are they actually telling the truth? Because one thing that I learned as far as like looking up things for this segment is that there were kids that were lying about their age and going on Tinder. Now that's like a different level. And Tinder actually used to be at the age of 13.
What?
Right.
Are you serious?
Yes. We were shocked. I was talking to our director and we were just
like middle school matchups. What are we?
yeah,
doing?
it's just disturbing. It's disturbing.
Horrible.
And so you want to make sure that because Tinder is connected through Facebook.
Correct.
So if you lie about your age on Facebook, you can get on Tinder, and you never know what can happen.
All my friends who want to play on there, now you know another reason why you need to stop.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Okay.
yeah, I'm sorry. I
Nope.
didn't.
No, I'm not using
These
it.
conversations are important. So is
Yeah.
there any other overall recommendations as we close this out? When your children in social media, anything that
Children in social media, just make sure that you have a very strong conversation with them. I know we heard about contracts, but you definitely want to indicate the severity or the intensity of what it means if you put something wrong out into the world.
Sure.
And that it will really affect your entire
Whole
life.
future.
And, you know, people are getting kicked out of school for this. People are committing suicide.
Losing
Like,
jobs,
It's
yeah.
just, losing jobs. And I mean, these apps that I was telling you about, these apps are used by companies to monitor what their employees are doing on
Right.
social media.
Right.
So that's just right. There's like super zoomed in. Like,
Right.
who are you really? You know,
Right, sure.
9 to 5, you're one person, but after, who are you? So I think that discussion is just the biggest one, and just knowing who your child is. And I mean, I'm just would be like super protective and create my own profile to just follow them like incognito.
Oh yeah.
Because if you follow them on the app, I mean, it does disappear when you put it on their phone, but like it's nothing like being their friend on social media.
Oh, well, I plan on making it very obvious. If and when he does get on social media, I'm gonna be on your page and posting every day. Every day.
Watch it.
Watch me. But anyways, all right. Well, thank you so much for
Yes,
joining us.
I learned a lot. That's great.
Topic will come back up again, I'm sure,
Yes.
as our kids get older. Thank you so much for joining us. We will